Alright, so we're going to pick up where we left off in Little Rocket Lab. For those who didn't see what this game was the last time we played, it's kind of Factorio, but looks like Stardew Valley. So you do have kind of the Stardew Valley day flow where, like, you have to get to bed before the night's over and yada yada. But also, it's very Factorio, as if we go over here, you'll notice I've got my conveyor belt mess. And this one's not too bad, but we also get cranes. And we've been running into a bunch of issues with steel as like our big product that's getting bottlenecked. But the thing that gets a little bit more wild is it's not a procedurally generated map like Factorio. So there is like a certain predictability about it, but you end up having to bring your stuff farther and farther away. And so over time you kind of chaotically take over the map where you're in this like little Stardew Valley town and just running conveyor belts and cranes and all sorts of stuff right through the middle of town, upsetting the locals, as you do. Alright, so let's check our journal stuff. So I've got the bell repair. Okay, so I need a lot of stone. We're waiting for a signal, and I needed circuit boards. And for the circuit boards, we got the recycler, but I'm just kind of boxing the stuff. I haven't had the chance to actually clean any of it up. But the problem we're running into is my steel production is nowhere near as much as I need for half of what we're doing. We're also starting to get very low on copper. That's going to take some work. I'm going to grab all that stone. Oh, right. Grab the toaster. Good old toasty. Oh, and we got a murder toaster robot, so when you're, like, rebuilding your factory, this is kind of your mount where you can go quick, but also you could make it super angry and it'll just yank up buildings if you touch them. So it's really good for when you're like, oh, I got an upgrade, it's time for me to redesign this area. I could just run up and start just chopping the buildings apart and all that. Okay, so still need 700 stone. Again, so this is where we're making all of our plastic and logic circuits. We're taking all these computers and grinding them up. So I've already got a ton in here, and that's not where I'm planning on keeping them, so I'm just processing them down. We needed to find Benson, who we don't have a marker for anywhere, so I'm really not sure. My guess is Benson shows up like next chapter or something like that. You get missions you can do every day, so we would have 30 unloaders, 9 unloaders. I don't want to do all the furnaces. Okay, so pretty much what we'd have is, for the moment, the thing we'd work on is expand factory and make unloaders. I should also check to see what I need to do for the circuit boards, because I might be able to start assembling those. So go here and start tracking these. So what's it take to make a circuit board? So circuit board's an assembler too, and it's a logic chip and wire. Okay. That's going to get really obnoxious, I'm sure. Alright, so I think what my plan is going to be for how to tackle this is I'm not going to worry about those unloaders yet. What I'm instead going to do is we're going to run down here where the boat comes in, and I'm just going to see if there's copper located nearby there. Because then, if there is, my plan is I will just make this down here. Because this is another place we're just loading these up. The hope is we'd have copper in this area, and it's not looking good. Okay, so we do not have copper in this area. That is unfortunate. Okay, so what ultimately looks like is going to happen is we're going to be shipping the circuit boards over to this area. Actually, let me double check, because there might not be much copper over here, so it might not even be worth my time to do that. So we got our copper wire over here. That's fine. I'm literally down to 2 copper nodes there. And then I've got a copper node over here on the right. That's feeding this belt, but is mostly done. And otherwise I got copper way up here. Oh, I forgot I got more stone here. Okay, so I do think I'm going to still send the circuit boards over here. And we're just going to make it work wherever. But that's going to be a thing that we're going to have to figure out. I'm really hoping we can unlock the more space. I need 30,000 for it, I believe. Okay, cool. So we got the furnace efficiencies improved. That'll make everything smelt faster. This one kept me up all night. But I found a way to make your furnaces more efficient. They'll smelt ore 50% faster. No changes on your part. It's already in effect. Okay, so all that stuff's gonna be broken. Alright, so realistically, I'm gonna need the sorter. And the reason I need the sorter is that's gonna be a thing that'll allow me to have, let's see, sorts incoming items into 2 different conveyor belts based on filter criteria. And then we have the bumper, which could be a thing there. So I'm gonna grab that. Perfect. Once the requirements are delivered, we can get started on drafting the blueprints for you. Alright, and the beauty is, I'm pretty sure I have literally everything for it, like, between my inventory. Oh, I need more steel, because of course I do. Okay. Alright. So let's run back, see if we can't get the 200 steel. Because if we can get that technology right now with the sorter, what that'll let me do is start taking the recyclers and all that, taking the stuff that comes out of them, and moving that around. Honestly, take it all. Okay. So that should let me make the sorters. And as I mentioned, with the sorters, I could probably import the logic circuits, and then use those logic circuits with the copper wire to make the circuit boards and have that in production in my base. Let's pop over here real fast. So I got that research done. The blueprint for the sorter is ready. Now you'll be able to take conveyor belts with mixed items and separate them out again. It'll be especially useful for separating out the plastic scraps that come from the recycling the old electronics. Okay, so I finished that. Filtering splitter. I'm not going to worry about the filtering splitter yet. Actually, at those prices, I might. Honestly, I don't think it matters. We'll just choose them. Sorry, I changed my mind. Okay, I'll worry about that later. Alright. So for this one, I'm not going to fuss with it. I'm just going to let this thing continue to process till all those computers are done. But what we will do is we will run down over here. And I'm going to need to import the circuit boards. Right now we don't have a use for the plastic, so I'm just going to let it pile up. And then eventually we'll want to, you know, just put someplace else. Alright, so with this, I need the sorter, which is here somewhere. There you are. Okay, so I need 9 logic circuits. Okay. Let's see. So we will put select filter by people. Excuse me? I have a feeling I will get in trouble if we filter by people. Alright, so logic circuits will be put onto track A. Okay, and then for the moment, we'll get an item buffer. Alright. I'm gonna run along this other belt right now to avoid crowding it up more than I already have. Now I certainly could put oh, I see, 1 second. Now I certainly could go with this belt and just choose to do our stuff. I want the flower. I could certainly choose to take this belt and combine them and then separate them on the other side. I imagine eventually I will want to increase the throughput. That's annoying. There we go. Oh, no, don't do, no, stop. Oh, no. We had belt contamination for a moment. Okay, so I have one of my machines is shut down over here on the left. Okay, yeah, so that iron machine is no longer able to reach any iron. Okay. Because we just keep on mining till we're out of ore, and then I gotta figure the next disaster out. Alright, so with this, I still got those circuit boards. I'm going to need an assembler 2. Which requires heat sinks, which I should be able to grab a stack over here. Let's see. One thing I could probably do is some of these things here we could probably just straight up get rid of. Okay, so we got that set up there. I'll need an underground to connect the 2 paths. And I'll need another buffer chest. Because buffer chest acts as like both input and output, so it definitely feels like once you get it, you just stop worrying about the other. Okay, so with that, we are officially making circuit boards. Actually, I'm lying. Once I tell this to make circuit boards, we're officially making circuit boards. Cool. So with that, now what I need to do is I have these missions over here to make unloaders. So we're going to start making unloaders. Now, the interesting thing about unloaders in this game, and loaders, is when you look at games like Factorio, the way you scale up your throughput on your belts is, one, you get the better belts and they just go faster. The other option you get is called a stack, like Stack and Server picks up groups, or the stack belt, so it picks up a stack off the belt. And the way this kind of works around here is instead of having that kind of stuff, you have where you crate all your goods. So you take the time to grab them all, shove them all into a big box, and then you just take the entire big box and move it. So you take the time to kind of palletize them on one side, and then unpalletize them on the other. So I need 39 of these to satisfy the objectives we got here for cash. Means I need a little bit more steel. Alright, so with that, I've got enough for everyone's stuff. Yeah, so my robot is down there, and the two people I need to talk to are down here as well. And then once I get 100 circuit boards, we can finish Rocket Stage 1. But as you can see with all the conveyor belts, you just have all your townies get stuck everywhere. As it should be. No mercy for anyone. Okay, so I'm giving these to Sabrina, who is her. Oh, thanks, Morgan. This helps out a lot. Okay, so we delivered that, so she gave me 3,000 bucks. You are quite efficient. Thanks for the help, Morgan. Alright, we got your stuff. This is full release. Which honestly makes me really, really happy. Because I get very genuinely pretty tired of everything being early access. I know I can't, so it's by Friday? Well, that's by tomorrow. Yeah, I can't make that many furnaces. I don't have nearly that much steel. Alright, meanwhile, let's go over here in the interim. I've got this just processing stuff that I put over here. I'm going to grab all of that. Just let you keep processing. But we'll run over here and I'm just going to chuck them all in the box. That way I can slowly get where that's just a bunch of stuff set aside and get all brought over here. It mentions talking to Benson. But there's no one here nor another area to go to. To fix that bell, we've also not seen someone called Benson at any point. Yep, and everyone is really upset. Because they cannot get to the bar. Because it built a bunch of machinery in the way. As it should be. Oh, and I got a machine that's broken down. And the machine that's not working is over there. Okay. And you're stuck. I've already got 40 of those. Okay, so the one that's not good is over here. Ah, this. Alright, that's easy fix. So right about to run out of ore here. So this is going to be an issue, and not a little one. Because we're literally mining up the last of the ore that's feeding in my entire factory. And when that happens, all metal will cease to go into my factory. That's going to be a whole thing, isn't it? Alright. We got to figure out where we're getting our iron from. Because I've got the node down there by the mine. That's certainly one place. I also have more to the north of town. Let's go to the north of town and see if there is more iron up this way. Because we got, like, the one node here. That's going to be nowhere near enough to do anything. None of that's iron over here. That's all stone. That's all stone. And way over here, I know I've got some ore. I probably have ore up here, too. I'll need to head back soon. There's a bunch of copper. Okay, so this is where our copper is going to come from long term. Alright, so it looks like I'm going to have to figure out getting the iron from way down on that side up to where we're set up now. And then copper is going to come from the other side in the long term. So right now we're okay with our immediate setup, but ultimately I want to move all the copper to the north side of, well, sorry, with this map, this is north, which runs counter to everything I feel about maps at this angle. To me, to the right is always the north. Like, this would be north for me, and that would be west. But in this case, it is northeast. So to the east, on this side, I think we set up all our copper production. We move it over there, and then clear up space for the iron production on the west side. And then, you know, you combine it all in the middle there. Okay. So I made a bunch of smelted ore. And then tomorrow in game, I should get the last of my rocket parts. We still have gone with no accidents. There is a counter for number of workplace accidents, which I am curious how that works in this game. Because we've seen that counter looming over us this whole time. I also want to take all of these windmills and shove them in some corner somewhere to give me more room to work and not have to fight getting Toasty out of there every day. Toasty's the name of our mount. So start the day by running down here, checking on our board. You want 50 servos. 70 small motors is easy. 50 servos. Oh, circuit boards and small motors. How much are you offering for that? So that's for tomorrow delivery. 90 cable cranes. We'll worry about that in a minute. Okay. You just like the time limit? Yeah, it's not too bad in this one. But yeah, no, I can definitely see where people get stressed out by the being on a time limit, which is totally fair. Okay, so there's the 100 I need for that. Let's check our inventory for the motors. Okay, so I need 70 small motors. That'll more than cover it. So I can run over here and deal with that. And like I said, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to work on the south. I want to get it so I can mine a bunch of ore, rate it up, and start moving the crates over, which is something that's been a long time coming. Well, it's not here, it's the rocket. We're dropping this off at the rocket. Oh, I just need 100 of the circuit boards. What am I doing? It was 70 for the other thing. Okay. So that should get the rocket all fed. We can turn these into Elise. And then once we deliver that, like I said, I'm gonna need to work on getting some of our materials moved. Oh, you're here. Because you're stuck behind my conveyor belt. You're quite efficient. Thank you for your help, Morgan. Perfect. I am finding holding them all hostage by putting equipment in front of them everywhere worked extremely well. Definitely something I want to continue. Ooh, you're backed up. How did you get to be backed up? Hang on, did some get broken? There's no way our steel is full. Our steel is full? Alright, so you can talk to our auntie. Alright. I finished delivering all the parts we need for the stage of the rocket. Wonderful work, my dear. Then let's get building the next stage of the rocket. Let's exit the rocket. It's going to be a late night. You might have some coffee ready. Oh, we'll go put on a pot. I think we're just about ready to lower the new section into place. It's been so long since you, Mom, and Mom connected the piece before this. Was she nervous that it might not go well? All the time. But it always went off without a hitch. Your mother was a very talented engineer. It's amazing that she could do with just a pencil and a slide rule. And sometimes, even a kid hanging off her arm while she worked. Alright, no sense putting it off any longer. Hold on to your overalls. That isn't right. What happened? I'm not sure. I have an idea, though. Let me double check. Oh, I was hoping this wasn't the problem. What is it, Auntie? D&D done, you might be dead. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, I hope you at least still had a fun time with it, Luxray. It looks like the new selection is slightly off the spec. We're only a few centimeters off, but it's enough that it won't seat properly. A few centimeters off is really big deal for rocketry. I was sure I had everything measured out correctly. Not to worry, my dear. This is just part of the process. It wouldn't be science if there wasn't some trial and error. Can we fix it? Of course we can. But not tonight, I'm afraid. We'll need to get one of us up there to make some adjustments. You should go get some rest, my dear. I promise we'll start first thing in the morning. Alright then. Morgan? Yes, Auntie? Don't beat yourself up. We'll get there. These things just take time. So that'll be the next chapter, won't it? Hey there, Pico. You couldn't sleep either? Your wheel is squeaking. Hold on a second. That should do it. I don't know if you're supposed to actually read that at all, but I cannot. I came all the way back just to work on this rocket. I told everyone I met about it. And here I mess it up already. It's like, okay, come on. It's not really that bad. You and another party member, one got caught on one side of the barrier with a creature resistant to all magic, and he's a sorcerer, and you're a Pallylock. Gotcha. Mom was such a great engineer. Always keeps saying it. I've always heard since I showed up here. What if I can't do what she did? What if they're disappointed in me? You're building a rocket. I'll just have to show them that I'm just as capable as Mom was. Looks like we have our work cut out for us. Tomorrow will be a better day. Complete stage 1 of the rocket. Got an achievement for it. And we recycled 69 materials. Nice. Plus 13%? I don't know what that means. Oh, it's saying stage 1 done plus 13%, like I did more than I was supposed to. Let's see. Pico mentioned that she was already in the silo. Morgan, what are you up to over there? Morning, Auntie. I just wanted to get a head start in correcting the alignment issue. Well, I'll be. Now that's dedication. Oh, hi, Elise. I didn't see you over there. Elise stopped by to discuss a proposal with you. For sure. I'll be down in just a moment. How exactly long were you up there, Morgan? I couldn't sleep, so I came here instead. But I got the problem sorted out. Take a look. A perfect fit. And now for the best part. Why are you welding the part that has nothing on it? Well, I haven't seen those old welders up running in years. This is quite impressive. It is, but still, you shouldn't push yourself so hard, Morgan. It can lead to mistakes. Don't worry, I'm fine, Auntie. What was it you wanted to talk about, Elise? Ianka and I were talking about your work here at the silo. It's quite remarkable, really. And I have to say, I'm very impressed by how much you've accomplished in such a short time. It's nothing. I had a lot of help from Auntie. Even still, it's been inspiring to see. We don't get that kind of enthusiasm around here very often. Ianka and I were looking over the plans for the rocket. There's quite a few specialized parts. I was thinking maybe we could help each other out. My observatory is on the other side of the canyon, up at the peak. If we could get it reopened, I could help you research the blueprints you'll need. It's a big ask, but I was wondering if you could help me repair the telescope at the observatory? I'm surprised I'm the first person you came to. I'll be more than happy to do what I can to help. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Morgan, you have no idea how happy that makes me to hear. When you have a moment, come meet me in front of the observatory. We can go over what's needed for the repairs. I'll leave you to your work now. Also, why is it welding the top? You're just welding the side of something. You weld where things are jointed together. You're not achieving your goals. Oh. That next step seems oxygen tanks. Oh no. Because again, workplace accidents are a mechanic in this game, and we haven't discovered them yet, but every single day, it's not just the count of how many days, like as a timeline for how long you've been here, there is a number of workplace accidents that occurred that day stat. Which to me tells me I can present real danger to my community. As it should be. Alright. Small motors are easy. Unloaders shouldn't be a problem. Another 130 unloaders might be a problem. Alright, so let's go check out the observatory first. And pretty soon the whole factory's gonna start shutting down. I just missed that. Did it actually say the chapter changed? I figured the chapter was going to change. I don't think I actually saw where it mentioned it. One of my drills just shut down. So, already looking good. Let's get to the observatory first. We're already here. Ah, there you are, Morgan. Before we go in, we should get the power back on and running. I've noticed the breaker at the side of the building. Okay, so this is gonna be a whole thing, isn't it? So I'm gonna have to run the power here. Oh. Okay, so it doesn't look like that's an option. I think what I'm gonna have to do is build a wind turbine up here. Yeah, no, I've been trying to keep my entire power grid as one network. But yeah, in this particular case, that bridge makes it so I can't run this across. Meanwhile... Okay, let's first... I gotta grab some more copper wire, but let's run back to town. Or not run back to town, run back to the factory. What is out of ore? A lot is out of ore. That is bad. That's actually real bad. Because we might be dealing with fixing a lot of things breaking down as the ore runs out. Which I'm not exactly ready for. So we got 3 areas up here that look like they ran out. Oh, that is terrible. We got problems. Okay, so that was a supplement one, so it's not as bad as I'm originally thinking. But I do have where that no longer has coal on the line at all. And then we also have... These two have shut down. Okay, so those are back online as a band-aid fix for now. The other thing I'm going to need to do is I am going to need to try and get coal over here. Now, I'd really like to not put another load on this. All right, so let's see what we can do. First of all, chuck that in the bin. This is about to run out as well. Yeah, I shouldn't do this. That's not gonna do anything productive. Okay, so this line... Okay, the good news is all this storage seems to be in good shape. I hate to do this over here, because that's doing a split on a split on a split kind of situation. That'll at least keep it running for the moment. Alright, so we got a problem. All the coal is running out up there. And granted, it's boxed. We also have a second problem. That's I'm running out of copper wire. Which really makes me feel like I'm just playing Factorio. Alright, because I need power up there. Alright, let's try and get Elisa's thing sorted out. But we're at the stage now where I'm going to have to start setting up additional areas, because all of this is going to shut down. And I can continue to just keep running belts from farther and farther away to it. I definitely feel like I want to move the copper to the east side of the base here. Because we got a bunch of copper right there, but I don't have any coal up here. And that's where I'm getting kind of caught, is it might be that we get another upgrade, and then, you know, the coal ends up being just not a thing I have to worry about anymore. Probably not. There's a lot of coal still on the map. Coal's gonna be an interesting one. Okay, so the observatory is on. Perfect. Thank you, Morgan. Let's take a look inside, shall we? I have the key on me here. Can you make the power go down from that end? We can check in a minute. That's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame, isn't it? This telescope is about as old as I am, and for years it still produced fantastic results. But over time, many of the components started to jam, and the lens themselves need resurfacing. Eventually, it was no longer accurate enough for our research. Why didn't you and William ever try to repair it? Sorry, that came out wrong. It's alright. We did get the process started, but ran into problems. Trying to source a new lens, since it's an older design. It must have been over a year we spent trying to track down a few different suppliers. When the lighthouse collapsed, we could no longer get parts shipped in even if we found them. After running into setback after setback, we started to lose steam. I kept lamenting how difficult it was to get the telescope repaired. Instead of doing anything about it, I spent months depressed about how unfair it was, like a fool. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not your fault you're running into so many problems. But that's just the issue, isn't it? I just saw myself as helpless in this situation. Life happened to me. I couldn't do my research because of all the other issues. Morgan, I'm envious of your conviction. You're the one that got the work on the rocket restarted. I miss having that perseverance about my work. It might not be my fault I couldn't do my research, but it is my responsibility to find a way to continue. How do we get started then? I'm glad you asked. It took a lot of work, but Willie and I came up with a blueprint we can use. Take a look. I'm gonna be making glass lenses. With this blueprint, we can manufacture the lens we need ourselves. When they're ready, you can add them directly to the telescope here. There is one tricky part though. To manufacture the new lens, we'll need quartz. The only place to find quartz is at the mines. I've heard it's not the safest place to be. Don't worry about me, I'm sure it won't be a problem. As confident as ever. Let's get to work then, shall we? On later news, Morgan dies. And they are individually responsible for encouraging me to do dangerous stuff. Alright, so we're gonna have to get that all figured out. So we got a lot of problems going on here. One of those problems is we're fast running out of coal, and we need to be able to source it from farther away. Another problem we have is we're a little bit limited on the resource, like on the space we're dealing with on the west side of the factory. And the third problem is I'm basically out of copper entirely down there. Yeah, there's no coal over here at all. Huh. So they've still got decent coal over here. I'm also, what is happening that you are not going down? That's what's got me confused. You got a coal line going down here. Is it just uses that little bit of coal? Ah, it's that the throughput is so abysmally low that I don't need nearly that much. Okay. Do you have enough money to buy that property to the west of you? No, I need 30,000. Which is why I need to be making more stuff. Let's look at our quests again. So it was the unloaders and the small motors. Alright, so we need 80 small motors. Easy peasy. And then for the unloaders, I need 50. Which is kind of the thing. We are spending a lot of resources making this money. And I haven't seen any indicator of, like, an infinite resource node of any kind. So we are kind of gobbling up our resources here. My assumption of what happens is we will eventually find, you know, what's effectively an unlimited node, but it's going to be extremely inconvenient to get at kind of thing. Alright. Okay, so I need more steel in my inventory. Okay, and there's the unloaders I need. So I need 150 steel beams to telescope, and 800 steel beams for the other thing. So that's 150 steel beams for there, and 200 steel beams we'll put towards the rocket. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for the rocket. And something just shut down in my factory. That's gonna be the last coal node done up this side. Yep. The secondary steel line shut down. It's done. Actually, both steel lines are shut down. Okay. So. I've got stuff to fix. So what we could do as a temporary fix. Is reroute the one surplus box here. Since that one's not draining past anyways. And something else shut down, which I'm not loving. So what else shut down here? We got one over on the east side of the property. Is it the copper on this end? Yep. So that's our copper running out here. Okay. That's a problem. Alright, so how the am I fixing this? So basically I don't need, like, first let's drop off our stuff for cash. I need to drop it off of these two. Where's my robot buddy? Basically what I'm doing is I'm exhausting our materials nearby, and I don't really have a good place to get the materials where I need them. Is kind of what I'm running into. I've got all the coal on the west side here is gone. Or sorry, the northwest side over here is gone. The copper in the middle of the area is fully exhausting. And so I'm going to have to go farther abroad for these materials. And that part's fine. It's just figuring out where I can bring the copper to and all that. And I need to do unloader and... Load that. You're done already? It would have taken me weeks to do this myself. Alright, now it's you for the other delivery. Alright, you did good, Morgan. Thanks. Okay. We can drop the steel rods up at the telescope real fast. Yeah, so pretty much where we're caught at is I'm exhausting those. We can get to the mine and get all that stuff. The issue I have is I'm going to need to start making stuff and bringing it the distance over. So, because I don't want to have to run all the way to like one end of the map, be like, time to go pick up the steel, run all the way to the other side of town. Where do I drop? Oh, I have to put it inside the actual telescope, that's right. Okay, so I got the steel delivered there. Alright. So, what'll be the best way to deal with this problem? Oh, I also noticed I don't have you queued up. Alright. So I think step one is going to be trying to get this copper situation resolved. Right now, I've got this copper line here. And it's not quite full up on that thing to keep it running. This thing ran out of copper already. Oh, okay, so we're fine on this line. So when these were out, we could run that around. So copper's not as much an emergency as thinking. It's got coal, it's got copper. Copper is fine. It doesn't have the throughput I need, but that's just something I'm going to live with for right now. The coal is a more immediate problem. Now, I got a couple things we can do for that. What I can do is right now I'm producing all of my ingots here. So what I should do is down here by the mine, let's start work. Actually, we don't have enough time to do it right this second. Let's go on the mine side and get where I can start smelting the iron ingots over there and have that whole process down on that end. And then we can crate up the ingots and send them back this way to then be turned into, you know, the iron plates and all the other garbage that they're going to become. That way we have them closer to the mine, and I haven't seen any reason to ship iron or any real distance. Okay. So I made decent money. We delivered a very small amount of parts for the rocket. Important notice. I regret to inform you that due to recent breakdown at the train station, all rail service has temporarily been suspended. We are working hard to resolve the issue, but it is unclear at what time it will be fixed. My deepest apologies. Thank you for understanding, Watts. Okay, so that might be what solves some of our problem. My assumption of what will end up happening is the train will become a renewable source. That would actually make sense. So what you could do is you could effectively pay to have stuff delivered. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Crane cables for 4,000. Small motors are always easy. Heavy duty motors. Alright, so we're going to start by what I think I'm going to do is go to our objectives. You with those unloaders? Sorry, not interested anymore. Alright. So let's run down to the train station, because more than likely it's going to become a source for stuff. It might be one of these things that it ends up being a source where we recycle things. Oh wow, when you said it was there was a breakdown at the station, you weren't kidding. We sure weren't. The train station is how we import and export all the goods for our town. We had a shipment ready to go last night, but it seems the locomotive is broken down. It's blocking the entire station, so we can't make more deliveries in the meantime. How long do you think it'll take the rail company to get it up and running again? Huh, don't hold your breath. What do you mean? The rail company's been wanting to close the station down for months now. They said they're not exporting enough for them to justify maintaining the line. I fear with this latest breakdown, it might just be the excuse they're waiting for. I don't think there'll be a fix it anytime soon. Let's not get your hopes up, Morgan. Sorry to say this, but this is the norm around here. Don't let Michael get to you. He means well. He's just a dick. His business has been struggling ever since he got here. The scrapyard relies on being able to export out of town, so this is hitting him particularly hard. Until we get this locomotive repaired, we're all gonna be hurting. And of course, this means we run over and repair it ourselves. That's not that bad. Okay, so that's actually a pretty easy one for us to handle. Let's go grab 2 stacks of stators, a stack of heavy motors, and some gears. And it'll be the town here in about 30 seconds. So, my only demand for repairing it is that I get a 5% of all revenue generated by anyone who uses the train. It seems fair. One, 2, 3, and 4. So we got all of you done. We'll go over to the heavy motors. That's 1 stack of heavy motors. And I need gears. 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks of gears. And we have everything we need to fix the train. What worries me is now I'm out of stators. Alright. Do I have the 60 motors on me? No, we can grab the 60 motors and drop those off while we're out and about. That way I can be even more terribly off with the stators. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yep, so what we'll do here is we can run over. We can turn in the motors to Veronica, as well as get the train up and running. Okay, so you're on the bridge. Thanks, Morgan. I knew I could count on you. Helps me a lot. Alright. And we have another drill has just shut down. It'll be that that iron drill that was way over there. Why am I talking to Sabrina? What? Oh, the signal came in. Hey, Sabrina? Have you heard anything yet on the radio? Nothing yet. I've been listening every day. Maybe the antenna isn't working? We should go take a look at it. Sure, we can do that. I don't know. Maybe it's not strong enough? Do you think we could boost the power to it? Or maybe we could build a bigger one? We could try that. But I'm not sure if it'd make a difference. It's not the antenna, is it? He's just not coming back. I thought if maybe if I keep listening, I'll finally hear from him. Hear that he's coming back to the pier, just like before. I'm sorry I was treated this way, Morgan. Your aunt, you know? She talked about you all the time. Almost every day she talked about you. And then one day you came back. You guys got to be a family again. And yet there I was. Still just me. No one's coming back for me. Dad's gone off, started a new family. And I don't know what to do. Other than run a successful town. I mean, I guess the town's going under, but sure. To be honest, Sabrina, I don't know what to do either. I'm glad I have my aunt, but we're still pretty broken. I haven't stopped hearing about Mom since I arrived. And she isn't coming back either. I'm sorry, Morgan. I hadn't thought about that. I guess we're both a bit broken, aren't we? Just try to take it one day at a time. I have to just keep going. It helps to have a few friends, though. I think you could use a few more of those. I can always stop by the tavern more. I'd like that. Thanks, Morgan. Anytime, Sabrina. She's such an engineer who repairs everything. She even repairs people's broken hearts. We still have each other. I mean, to be fair, she's been a jerk to you almost the whole time. I don't think you just go, you know what? It's fine. That's a problem. Look, man. I have too many fires I'm putting out. I'm gonna ignore that fire and I'm just gonna let it burn for a couple of minutes. The problem there is the plastic has gotten so backed up, it has now prevented the logic circuits from continuing on the way to make more circuit boards. But I think that's fine. We're low on copper as it is. Let's let one fire... Oh, that one's frozen too for the same reason. Okay. Perfect. That about does it. I should talk to Watts and let him know I'm finished. Okay. Watts, I've got some good news for you. I think I managed to get the locomotive fixed. Wait, you fixed the locomotive all by yourself? Well, I'll be. Let's look at it. It's fixed? But how? Looks like young Miss Morgan over here took it upon herself to do the repairs. You did this by yourself? Don't sound so surprised. Morgan here has been following in her mother's footsteps, haven't you? I guess you could say that. As a way of repaying you, I could bring a railroad car of ore for you to use every day. Feel free to unload as much as you need right here at the station. Wait, really? For free? Every day? Every day. It's the least we could do for... Okay. So, that gives me my renewable source. The train arrives at 8 a.m. and leaves at 6 p.m. You'll need to use splitters to unload that material. Just stop by my desk at the station and tell me what you need, and I'll have it brought in for you. You sure that's okay? Of course. We owe you a great debt for getting the train running again. Isn't that right, Michael? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Now, don't keep the girl waiting. Life's too short. Let your pride... Don't keep the girl waiting. Life's too short to let your pride get in the way. Okay, hang on. Watts, you don't need to be pairing me up. Better get the station ready to take in orders. I don't think I've ever looked forward to paperwork this much. Thank you, Morton. This helps me out a lot. I really owe you one. I'm sorry. I don't think I heard you. You're thanking me? Yeah, I am. Gotta admit, I underestimated you. Flattery, even? Are you feeling alright? Alright, don't let it get to your head. Can't make any promises. Maybe he does have a heart. He's thanked us before. Okay, so placing shipment orders. Cliff should close up the shop every now and then. Fellow certainly has worked hard enough. He deserves a break. Good morning, Morgan. What would you make to change to your next shipment? Okay. So, I'm going to submit for coal. Alright, your shipment will be in here tomorrow. You know, if the station were able to reach old shipment quotas, I could get additional rail cars for order brought in each day. Do you think you'd be able to help us out? I know it's asking a lot. Of course, more than happy to. Wonderful. In that case, I'll open up the old delivery chutes on the outside of the station. If you can deliver the items we need for our next shipment, I can call in some favors and get more rail cars added to daily or available for the daily shipments. Oh no, what is... Okay, what is... Okay, hang on. Alright, I feel like the rules of the game are now changing. Alright. I see. So now I have to allocate some of my materials to being exported to give me the ability to import more materials so that I have the materials to then produce the things to sell. Alright. So for right now, I don't have everything I need to get all this hooked up. So what we will do... Which of these cars is the one that's actually going to have my stuff? You know what? It's fine. I'm sure if I said it wrong, it'll just be a minor tragedy. Okay. Alright, so we've hooked that up. So we're not going to get any ore yet, and that's okay. So my plan for this now is, I'm going to run over here. I'm going to throw down some conveyor belts. And I'm going to quickly just go and make an item buffer. Because what that'll do in the meantime is by having an item buffer here, when we get that coal delivery, it could be buffering over here for when I'm ready to ship it into my area. Because then that's going to be running across the entire town and make this even more of a disaster. Alright. So, let's get back over here and check to see what's run out. So that does give me at least an option for my coal. I don't know how much coal that thing brings in. Alright. So I've got... You've run out of ore. Okay, so this will be a bit of a weird one to try and twist this around the way I need it. Okay, so we got that fixed. Now I need to go over here because our ore is just collapsing rapidly. Alright. That's running out of coal over here. Okay. Of the many disasters I'm dealing with. First, what deliveries do we have today? So I've already got the deliveries for today done. We need to produce more of everything. And honestly, let's set the limit on this. We'll keep it at 3 stacks to hopefully limit our running out on the copper. Alright. So back to what I was mentioning earlier. I'm going to need stone for this. I can get the stone down here. That's fine. I am going to want to start to setting... Not making the plates down here, but just making ingots down here. And you're shut down for the time being because of the... plastic. All right. So, I think what we do, and this is going to break some stuff, is I go to you. And I'll need to make a loader. Because, yeah, over time, we're going to put more and more in there. So you're sending it all the way over here to feed this steel production. I do think we are going to shut down this steel production, as much as I don't want to, because the coal is just running out. And they're gonna have to reroute stuff. Oh, that coal's done. It's not running out, that coal is just done. Cool, so let's go ahead and break that part of the track. Alright, so I've got you over here. So for now, pop that over there. Okay, so we've got all that coming in. And like I said, so now we've got these giant crates. Oh! The giant crates can't go underground. That's fine. And I cannot pick up giant crates. They're very explicit about that. So what we can end up doing here is we'll be able to reroute a bunch of this. For right now, I'm just going to keep letting it bring the crates over here, and we'll get that all sorted out. We'll want to do that on the other end as well. For the coal, I'm going to crate it as well. Is this the standard Factorio? F it, start over? No, so what we're happening is we're reaching the point that I'm running out of resources locally, so I'm having to figure out how to route things to make it work better. So I'm having to get the stuff, crate it from the far end, and bring it back. That's proving to be a problem. I'm hoping I can get the 3,000 before we have to deal with too much of a headache. Right now, materials are getting rough. So we have plenty of the heavy motors. Let's get these. And I need to make some heavy cranes. I think I need a bunch of steel for that. Actually, take it all. Because we'll make the 40 of these. Because it looks like I can get it to the point that with the shipments, I'll be able to know that I won't ever be truly stuck, because I will be able to take it, and even if it's slow or I have to switch it from one to the other each day, that would be a way to continue. Obviously, I don't want to deal with that. Like in that manner. Meanwhile, we have steel beams to send in here, so you still need 600 more. So 100, 200, 300, 400. So now I need to go to Watson Rebecca and drop off these for the cash. Because at 30,000 I can expand my property, and there might be more ore on the property. It might not be. Regardless, it means it won't be so claustrophobic, so I can start trying to move one route over. I just noticed that our copper is completely gone on that route. So that's lovely. Thank you for helping me out, Mo. It's hard to get a time to step outside the university these days. Alright, so that's 280 bucks. And now I need to go to Watts for the crane. Thank you very much, Morgan. This is great help to me. I'm ever so slightly shy. I don't think I can make up the other 725 bucks tonight. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get a really fast and easy one we can turn in. That I can do it super fast, get to the mayor, and then have them open up the extra area of the property and all that. Okay. So with this though, clearly this whole thing shut down. What am I doing? I have a robot that specializes in this. Sorry, entire town. I didn't mean to shut down the power grid. Yeah, so the copper's about to shut down. But you already kind of knew that was coming. But I still have that little bit of copper over there. So at least we're still producing for now. What ran out now? Oh! Okay, that I can live with for a little while. That's fine. I think I have a redundancy down there. That's okay. Because we can run down there while we're doing everything else. Alright. So if we're quick, we can make some fast money today. Because we have till 9 a.m. 9 a.m. is when the mayor finishes with work for the day. So we're gonna rush down here, see if we can't grab a job real fast. Recyclers are kind of costly. Cable. Small motors, done. Let's go grab some small motors. It's how many do I need? 50? Do I already have that on me? No. I have 46. Let's run over here. Grab a stack of small motors. Please tell me they don't block me. Okay. So Veronica's probably... Oh, no, Veronica's up there. That's even easier. Let's go to Veronica. Try and turn these in. Try and get to the mayor really, really fast so we can unlock the extra part of the property. So Veronica's supposedly... in this house. Thanks, Morgan. I know I could count on you. This helps me a lot. Okay, so we got our money. So now we need to run over here to the mayor's office. And that should be enough to increase our property size. Hi, Morgan. Looking to make an upgrade to your aunt's property? It's 50,000. Just like last time, I was like, I have my 30,000, let's do this. It's still 50,000. Okay. Recyclers and cable cranes. I don't know if we'll have those materials. Alright, so let's get down to the mine and get this sorted out. I also think it's worthwhile to... We'll need to crate the coal as well. We can worry about that when we get there. Got so much stuff that's all getting shut down now. Okay, so you can get picked up. Okay, I've made that all redundant for right now. So that keeps importing the ingots. Can it borrow in margin? You hear it's all the rage? Yeah. Alright. So you're down to your last pieces of coal. There's nothing left over here. Steel production is completely shut down because there's no more coal for it. Alright, how can we fix this? Alright, so another dirty fix time. By fix, I mean band-aid. I'm gonna put you here. So, I definitely need to be routing that coal over here. Because needless to say, the coal is gone on this side of the area. The iron's not far behind. Alright, so keep that going for right now. So let's get our steel production back online, but it's going to start slowing down. The copper is probably getting dicey as well. How much is left on you? Not as bad as I thought, but they're low. And I do have a lot of coal here still. Okay, so we have coal that we can start shipping in. What ran out now? Far left side of the property. None of our machines no longer has enough ore to operate. Ah, the other two just went offline. Oh, that's... Okay, that's more than I could easily just band-aid. We've officially hit the point where there's just not bringing this one back, because that's also about to run out. So this whole steel production over here is about to shut down no matter what I do. There's no longer getting ingots from this area. So what I could do to band-aid fix this for a minute is we can go over here real quick. Okay, so that'll make sure that still is functioning. We could drop what coal I picked up over here. That's about to run out, so there's no point keeping it around. I'll leave that until it exhausts. We were already kind of planning for this to happen anyways. And that's the reason why we've been crating the ingots over here. So what's going to need to happen is we're going to need to start uncrating these ingots. And that's going to replace all of this part, and it will have just that. I think that'll actually be okay. So as this shuts down here, we take these ingots, and I'll have to reverse these conveyor belts, but I'll move my steel production over here. So let's start going here. So we need an unloader. And then from here, we need an assembler too. And you make steel. And we can grab other buildings on here. All right. Okay, so that'll be steel production going there. We'll get that sorted. So you're probably about to shut down any time now. Yeah, because we burn one coal per minute. That's going to get all that done. Then we can route this coal around here to get steel. And that'll run as long as I've got some coal in reserve. Which is fine for the moment, fortunately. Alright, so we'll let that sit for a minute. Actually, we can do real fast. Okay. So with that, we're now shipping ingot crates over. We'll definitely need to increase the throughput there, but I'm going to worry about that later. Okay. So I've at least got the ingot crates going so that it won't totally shut down. When the coal does run out, we can start doing the same thing, but coal. That's not going to do anything until we start seeing this exhaust. Because this should start counting down where it's not getting coal anymore. So to get 2 more coal out of it, that's fine. Alright. Cool, so I've got that. You're still doing your thing. That steel's going to get shut down, which is fine. And then what can happen here is I can reroute this production to make those. Alright, so I think we got a setup here, and we ran out of material over here. Okay, so that's just what happened here. So this is done. This is all shut down. No more ore. Okay. So this is going to run out of material and shut down as well. Until it does, I'll keep that routed. Yeah, so we got all that ore in there. In the meantime, we can toss that in. Okay, so as you can see, we got all that going. Why are you not functioning right now? I need to make you into iron plate first. Alright, that is on me. That's fair. Was it a 3-to-1 ratio for those? What was the ratio here? You produce 90 a minute. You consume 30 a minute. No, you consume 90 and you put out. Okay, so it's a 1-to-1. Alright, so we've got that all sorted. Okay, so. Alright, those have gotten backed up finally. Alright, so I need 300 gears for the telescope repair. I believe between all that I've got the 300 gears. I need steel beams and heavy-duty motors for the next thing. So if we combine that, that's 200 heavy motors. We can grab all the steel we can. Alright. So I need to drop by the telescope to drop off the gears. Not worrying about the rocket at all right now. We can go to the exports, and we won't quite have enough steel to do that. But at least that gets that going. We are importing coal. I'm going to need to run that across the entire city, which is going to be an interesting thing to run into. Now we got all this over here. I believe I have the gears. Cool. So I need to make the glass. I have to look what's required to make glass lenses. We have been told we can only get those out of the mine. I have a little bit of quartz. I haven't been able to like find something I could hook up a mining drill to collect quartz. It's probably in there. So let's run over to the train and increase the exports. Because I can definitely see doing a thing down here where I can import coal, import iron, all that to keep stuff moving kind of slowly. Where am I supposed to put this? Oh, right, I see. We can grab you. Alright, and that sets that up to start getting those done. Yes, the good news is we are starting to get that coal all sorted out. Yeah, I imagine having that train come in with the coal, I could probably get that to work. I can see that being a long-term solution as the renewable source. I do imagine it's got kind of a bottleneck on bandwidth, like how much you can move. Assuming all the rest... Oh, we already did all the job board? Did I do all the job board stuff? No, I did not set it. Okay, so you got Thursday. Alright. We'll see about trying to get the recyclers and all that. Let's see what else we've got here. So you're still doing your ore. We haven't had anything else run out in the meantime. You're still churning away for the moment. You're producing steel just fine for the moment. What else would I need? Let's grab the steel. Let's grab the motors. Because I am going to need to load and unload. In the meantime, let's take a quick look. What do I need for the recyclers, and what do I need for the other stuff? So the recyclers are 2 and 6, and the cable are 15 net. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and grab the recyclers. I'm going to get those going then. Because I need 40 for this turn-in. But I still think we want to be focused on trying to expand the property. Okay. Alright, so that's going to be all we're going to get done this in-game day. Okay, so this in-game day, we did reroute a lot of this. This is all going to get ripped up down here, too. And it's just a matter of we had coal over here, and then we had iron over there, and the resources are gone. And rather than, like, spaghettiing everything past it, I'm just going to bring it in from the other side. And that'll open up a ton of space for working on other things. I also need to be routing that stuff around. It honestly could be a thing, because I could put a temporary steel production on that end. Alright. So didn't make a lot of money, but that's okay. We spent a lot of the day just trying to stamp out fires. Okay. So you're still going fine, you're still going fine. You're all good. And that would appear to be it. You're done. There's still a lot of plates in there. So let that keep going for now. You're getting no more additional tier material. For the time being... I'll put you there. It'll have it move the ingots to keep that running. So that means all that stuff's still producing. We will take the steel, all of it. Take the steel here, all of it. I need to drop off plates. Or iron ingots. Okay, I'm also seeing that we're slowly getting to the point where we're catching up on those crates. It's not surprising. It's fine. Okay. So, with that, we can go ahead and run over here, deal with the steel stuff real fast. Actually, I needed more recyclers, didn't I? Grab some more motors. Because I need 40 of these to get paid. Then take the surplus steel and keep trying to get the train set up. Because I do feel like if we can get that set up, having multiple of those things producing over there, we can kind of do the same thing where I start shipping in those crates. Because they worry as we're picking up the pace in some of these, we are just going to overwhelm what I can handle. And I need to look into the glass lenses and start making that happen too. And I gotta figure out what the heck to do with the plastic. I'm sure we're gonna have something that's gonna use the plastic production. Okay, so you still need 500 more steel. Which I do not have yet. We can pop over here to drop off the recyclers to Dottie. Yeah, Dottie'll be at the corner store. And once I have that, we can try and set up the next thing. go. Done already. Thank you, sweethearts. Big help. Yeah, it's 2,500 bucks. And one of those things, if you're going, oh man, you're spending all that money, I can actually go over here and just straight up buy machines. But at the moment, it's just not a thing I need to be doing. I can also take stuff and recycle it back down to the materials if it comes down to it. Alright, so you got all that going. You're getting low here. Alright, so with that, we should actually be able to quickly get all that sorted. Because then I can scale things up on the other side to keep that running. Alright, so we are still getting our steel production going. That's fine for right now. Let's run down here. Let's increase our ingot throughput if we can. Can I rip up the fences? No. Okay, so you're producing at full speed. But it's not really enough to keep all that going. So what I can probably do is put another furnace right here. I should have all these things on me at this point. What needs to happen now is I need to reroute the power around it. Okay, don't have extra power poles, that's fine. Okay, now we can yoink you up. Alright, we have a couple of undergrounds, we have to work some stuff out, but that's okay. So we can go over here. I already have some underpasses on me. Alright, so what's going to need to happen here is I'm going to take one underpass. Right now, this isn't running. And unfortunately, you cannot feed in this game directly from an underpass. So that's not going to work. But this should work. We can go like this. And rather than having that split off here, I can put an underpass from here to there. Okay, so we got all that hooked up. Okay, so I'll put you there. Okay, so I've got another thing producing the iron ingots. That'll double our throughput here. And I've got them set up to be a little bit redundant. So that'll help in the short term. Alright, so let's get back over here, and hopefully things keep running. That has caught up on the ingot side. Alright, so I need all the steel we can get. That might be enough steel to... So 100, 200... Yeah, it should be just enough steel to get the train back online. And I still don't have the other part going. Because yeah, I'm gonna need to have to break this thing up where I have like the ingots come in one side and we make a bunch of them into plates and some of them into cables and then go one layer deep, make a bunch of them into steel. Like, we're gonna have to go and do that scaling up like you do in Factorio and everything. It's just right now, with the limited space, I'm having problems getting that to work, because Factorio, you never have to worry about limited space. Because you can just make it bigger. Alright. So yeah, the 200. And I would need... It's fine, just chuck it all in there. It's more than I actually need, but I think it'll be okay. Alright, so with that, that'll get that fed. I've lost track of what we're even doing research-wise. Research-wise, we're working on bumpers, and that's a whole bunch more steel beams. So I just won't worry about that, because I don't have the steel to spare. Because the next thing I need is steel cranes, which is more steel. Alright. So we're still bringing in the coal. We're not moving it over here yet. That's going to need to happen. Alright. Now, if I wanted to expand our steel production, when this exhausts here, I'm going to put it over here, and we'll eventually work our steel or our coal delivery to get up here as well. I mean, honestly, what's probably going to end up happening is as this whole thing gets to be a mess and I start running out of ore on this end, it probably will be something that will move, like, iron, and the coal will come in this side, we'll process it all into ingots, take those ingots, make the plates, and, like, get this to be a lot less cursed versus the slow grow we've got going on. Okay, so what does it take me to make a lens? Let's work on that. So a glass lens is quartz and copper ingots, or copper bars. And I need 50 of them. Let's go into the mine and see if I can't locate a source of quartz. Because I've had it where I can break random stones and get quartz. But as far as like actually chucking down a mining drill for quartz, I have not seen. Yes, these are iron deposits. Got an emerald. Now, it could be one of these things that the quartz is like a one-time deal. We've got a couple of those we've had so far. Okay, we got the increased exports. Okay, so it looks like this whole length here is just going to be iron. Oh, interesting. Maybe later I'll be able to build bridges between this? There's a bunch of wrecked machinery up there, but there's no path in between. Or maybe I'll get, like... I've noticed these spire things here. It might be that we actually unlock the ability to, like, zip line or whatever between them. Alright. Yeah, so basically I'm just trying to work through here. get what we can out. I need the quartz for the lenses. Okay, there's a box back here. So that's an interesting thing. So there's a box back here and a whole lot of enemies and whatever that ring is. But there is a stone node that is going to take me a long time to mine. So I could preemptively make that, like, my next source of ore. Yeah, so we got the copper. Keep trying to grab some of this quartz. Alright. I'm also hoping that all these like little nodes don't respawn. I would suspect not with the automation way I have to set it up. If they respawned all the time, it'd make it very difficult to set any of this up. Okay. That's fun. We got a mining hat now. Alright, so we're almost out of time down here. Yeah, so it looks like we've got mostly all the iron over on this end. Trying to get the last bit of copper or quartz out of here we can. Okay, I think we basically have depleted all the quartz except for like one little spot over to the far east where that copper entrance is. So that's good news that we got this all down here. One curiosity I also have is I would imagine over time as you clear this place out more and more, it would become more plausible that you could actually go in here and set up some of the machinery. Well, actually, no, there's no coal in here, and I feel like importing the coal in makes less sense than just exporting the iron out. That's fine. Okay, so we got the ingot boxes going. We do have the train upgrade going as well. All right. So, doing all right with all that. Alright, is there anything else I want to chuck in the box? So you can be sold. What about the diamonds? You can be sold. And otherwise, the quartz we use to make things. I'm also assuming the emeralds are also just one. Yeah, okay, so it looks like the other precious gems you just sell. They don't serve another purpose. So there they go. Alright. So that's all running fine, and it's all jammed up. I need all the steel beams I can get my hands on. Alright, so you're all shut down as well. So we do now for a temporary fix. Get you wrapped around there. Okay, so we've got all that set up. Now again, I have a finite amount of coal coming into this area. I am going to have to connect the rest up, but that at least gives me that part sorted out. This is all gridlocked down here, but at least it's not anything critical. So I'm going to run all the way down here and get the second train car hooked up. And I need the glass lenses, the steel beams, the heavy-duty motors. Alright. Good morning. Would you like to make changes to shipment? We'll keep the order the same as before then. Alright. Watts, I got the first shipment all ready to go. Incredible. Thanks to you, the station's finally back in business. Now we're exporting components again. I can get the railroad company to provide us with a second daily car of material for us to use, starting tomorrow. Stop by my desk at the station and let me know what you'd like delivered. Will do. Anything else can help out with? Well, if you're up for more work, we're still a ways off from our old export quota. I'll give you a list of what we need for the next shipment. If you're able to get delivered to the train station, I'll get more delivery cars of ore delivered for you. See what I can do. Okay. Good morning, Morgan. Would you like to make change of shipment? Okay. So for right now, I'll have one car be coal and the other one copper. So we're not ready to take advantage of it, but that would give me a way of getting copper in when we're looking at having that be a problem down the road. So now what I need to do is let's get these glass lenses sorted out and just keep things moving. And to keep putting like a high priority and just move fast, this is definitely a game I could just take my time. Because you'll notice it doesn't have a day number. You literally just stay in the season you're in until you finish whatever the next milestone is. So it does make it so it's really not that sweaty. Alright, so let's get the cranes going. Huh. Yeek. 1,600 steel cables. Gross. So I need how many of those? Glass lenses, I need 50, so I don't actually have enough quartz. So rather than fuss with any of this, actually that's not true. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and we're going to start making our cable cranes. Start working towards the 50. Because I can get paid for that, and it'll be decent. One nice thing will be the bumpers. The bumpers mean I won't have to use the splitters for as much space. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to streaming. Alright, Luxray, you sleep well. Okay, I need more winches. Alright. And imagine you could set this up to craft these buildings, so make your equivalent to the Factorio Mall kind of thing. But so far I've just not, like, we do not have the space for that. Alright, so our coal is officially getting low. So I think it's time to start bringing the coal across the map. Actually, I take that back. That's a lie. Don't worry about that. What I think we're going to do instead is I've got this coal that's just been sitting here all this time. We're going to route that over for right now. Okay, so with that routed over, we could take this one little teeny tiny spot of coal over here. We can dig that all up to get this back in business. Because I'm going to just try and deplete all the ore we've got around the map. Okay, so I've got that. So now I got coal routed over there. And I've got copper up here. That's the one we're going to have to deal with the most, is getting that copper sorted. Because the iron is about to run out here. Yeah, this node's about to go. Those two are pretty well tapped. And I got just that node, and then all this iron shuts down. And that's when this whole factory gets real dire real fast. Is because suddenly my entire copper shuts down here. And then meanwhile, looking at our copper, we got that node that's mostly spent, and this one that's also mostly spent. So our copper's about to shut down as well. So, let's start moving copper production off to the other side. Because that's just going to need to happen. Okay. So in the interim, let's grab any drills. Okay, don't have any made. I'm not going to be sparing on this. Okay, so let's see where else we might be able to free up a power pole. This power pole over here no longer serves a function. Okay. We put this on the other side here. Alright. So for the moment, I've got them both feeding in there. They're not doing anything with that, but they are feeding in there. So our copper production is going good on that side. We'll want to get the coal sorted. The big question is, do I keep the coal just the way we've got set up? I think what we end up doing is I think ultimately, since this ore is going to give out first, when the ore gets out, we'll take all this coal that's routed this way, and I'm going to reverse it and route it back out over here. And we'll get the coal over here as best we can. So what I can probably do is work on getting all this routed up over here. Kind of wish that regular materials couldn't hit that part of the bar. Alright. So I've got the coal production down here. I'm going to route this all around and we'll just make it work. Okay, and we can go here. Cool. So that'll take care of routing you around, and then I need to move that power pole up there. Okay, so with that, let's reroute this and stop feeding this into where we've got the other stuff going. And that's going to pull that up and eventually run out. That's fine, because we're going to be importing our coal up here. That's all doing its thing down here until it runs out. Let's go check to see if we have enough steel to get more of these cables done. And both of those are right about to be tapped. Still got those crates coming in. The steel cable is completely exhausting, which I do not love to see. Do you know where the copper cave is at? There is copper in this cave. It's not a lot. But we will be able to go over there. But it's only like 2 or 3 of the big copper nodes there. There's a couple chunks of copper along the way. Alright. Okay, so let's go over here. Still need more steel beams, which is not at all surprising. I should have had a... Well, actually, can I fit a buffer here? There. So I got a buffer for the ingots too. Yeah, so we're not producing nearly enough of the ingots right now to keep you running at full capacity. But that'll obviously need to be improved. One thing that'll help is as we start toning down the winch production. Yeah, so we have to start bringing in more and more of those crates and all that. That's going to be a whole thing. And you're blinking that you're about to be out of ore. You got 200 ore left. And then you're done. Okay, we can get another one. Alright. So realistically, we gotta ramp up the amount of stuff going here. Let's see if we can't manage to get that last bit of the... We can't get that last bit of quartz, because I needed 50 quartz and I got 44 quartz. You're saying that there is a copper cave? Yes, there is a copper cave. I will get hooked up to it eventually. The downside is the copper cave is way over here. And I have to start bringing that over. Yeah, you got the chunk of copper here and here. This is honestly the big part of the copper right there. But then you go inside here, and you got a little bit of copper right here over on the end. Okay. I have exactly 50, which is good because I don't see any more quartz. Alright. Yeah, so that'll be where we'll want to get the copper. So that's probably what we're going to have to do over here. Is the same thing I'm doing with the iron. I'll eventually want to do it over there where we make all the copper ingots, and then we take all those copper ingots and we start boxing them and shipping them across the map to wherever they're needed. Now, I imagine later on we'll have like a step of stuff being produced over there and just really spread it out everywhere. I'm trying to avoid that for right now. Huh? That's not really what I wanted to do. Oh, I see what I did. Don't mind me. Okay, I can drop all that off. Okay, so with that, I could go and get an assembler 2. I'm just going to be messy about this and not put a lot of effort into it for the moment, because it's a temporary thing. And I'm sure we'll want to change that later. The later isn't right now. I'm going to deal with it later. Cool, so we got the lenses being made. We got the new copper area hooked up. Drop off that coal. Drop off the amethyst. Alright, we can pop up here. Let everything run during the night. We are officially running our power grid towards the edge of what it can handle. Lovely. That's what that light flickering means. It means the power grid's kind of dodgy. So we got about 3,000 power left. I want to get that sorted out. We're not out on any of the ores yet that we weren't already out on. I can no longer fit you through there. So that's lovely. Okay, that's all running. That's all fine. And grab the steel. Alright, so we got the last 2 of the steel cranes, the cable cranes. We're making the glass lenses. We'll see how we're doing on that, get that sorted. They keep telling me to talk to Benson. But as far as we've seen, Benson doesn't exist in our world. We've gone to church and all that. Okay, we're at 10. So I got a little while to wait on the quartz making the lenses. Alright, so let's drop off our stuff to Sabrina. Let's see what's going on next. My favorite is because we're hooked up to so many of the meters around town, not only am I making my lights flicker, I'm making the entire town's power dodgy. Now, I haven't quite hooked up to these meters, but we'll get there. Oh, thanks, Morgan. That really helps me out. Okay, we got 6,250. So we get pretty close to being able to actually get the upgrade to get more yard, which will help out a great deal. Okay, so you want 90 heavy-duty motors by Saturday. You want 9 cable cranes. You want small motors? Yeah, so we should be able to knock all those out and get ourselves some solid money. Alright. So 9 cable cranes, we could probably just get those crafted here pretty soon. We need a little bit more stuff here. The fact that I can't actually even get the robot through there is just a peach. Alright. So I can go over here and grab a couple more winches. Grab the steel. Okay, there's the cable cranes all handled. I would need 90 heavy-duty motors. And that takes care of those. We can visit Veronica and William and drop their stuff off. And get ourselves paid. Because I also don't know, once we expand the art, it's possible we will have another layer or whatever to it, to expanding our property. It looks way more scattered inside than here than the rest of the house. Oh, Veronica's over here. Thanks, Morgan. I knew I could count on you. This helps me a lot. That puts us up to 40,000. All right. William's probably still inside. Thanks, Morgan. I really need to help. Been so busy lately with my research. I haven't had much time to get this myself. That's another couple thousand. Okay. Yeah, so I got all those computers going in. I've just let them kind of stall out because I don't need the circuit boards right now. Like, the big thing killing me is steel. Okay, Noor only needs how many small motors? 20. So we can just drop by, give them the motors. So luckily today I can just drop off the materials and we're just sorted. You're already done? It'll take me weeks to get this myself. Thanks, Morgan. Alright, so none of those, like, that wasn't big money day. But if we have another day like that, we should be good to get our property upgrade. Now, the thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to grab a bunch of copper wire. Because I need to make more power production. I also apparently need gears. And I'm going a little overboard just because if we've run out of power now, I'm bound to need more. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is also move these power, like the power production over here someplace. Let's see where I could shove the power production where it's not really in my way. So this is an area I'm probably not going to use for anything. So we have decided that this property is now my property, and I am going to build upon it much power. By that I mean I didn't actually have the materials I needed. Looks like I don't need this set at all. It looks like I can use the windmills as power poles. Okay, so now I got 22,000 extra power. So we spent a lot of money, well, not a lot of money, a lot of resources. But we got that, so our powers don't be flickering anymore. We do have some ore that ran out over here to the left. So that's going to be our iron slowly shutting down. And we grab the drill here. Alright. Still not looking forward to all that plate production coming offline. Because then all of my production lines are going to start breaking. Okay, so the next thing to do is while I've got all that... Oh, do I have those lenses done yet? It's going good. Been just working on it. Starting to get to that stage where a lot of our local ore is starting to run out. So I'm having to branch farther out. And reorganizing a little bit while we're doing it. You do not produce fast. Can I ask, where did you get the helmet? In the mines. I just had to explore the mines until I found it. Superman is not very fast. It is not. The good news is, like right now, that quartz is a finite material, so it's just gonna have to take its time. All right, so we got all those sorted out. So we're still hurting on steel. Let's see what we can do to fix our steel. That seems like the place that I can put effort and get some return. That's fine. I'll just ditch that thing. Okay, so right now we're bringing these boxes over, and they're using about as fast as they're arriving. Yeah. So we're using the boxes fast as they're arriving. So what we need to do is go down here where we're importing these boxes and improve the throughput. Right now, it's all still gummed up. It'll move the logic circuits over there. So I'm going to need to do is get another ingot smelter going. Alright, so from here, you can rearrange things a bit. I'll have you go this way. That takes care of that one. Alright, so next thing I need to do is I need to make another underground. Because I'll try and bring this over here. Hey Dread, how's it going? Alright, because what we'll do is I'll put a drill here. I'll go underground there. Yeah, go underground here. Okay, so all I need to do is get some metal plates, and we can put down this power pole over here. And that should give us another thing producing the ingot boxes. The catch is I need the plates. I should have some of them over here. They're getting consumed pretty rapidly, though. Alright. All good, waiting before you can go to work? Gotcha. Alright, so we'll move all of you down. And we can make our underground. Cool. So with that, that should get a third one of these online. In a pinch, I can add another one on top of that. How Friday? Friday's been going good. Oh, we got something ran out. Yeah, so that should be producing ingots and boxing them up. So that should give us about 1.5 times the throughput on our ingots. So what ran out of ore? Probably that copper. Alright, so this is what we've been waiting for happening. Which is our copper ore has officially run out on this end. So now what I need to do is I'm going to need to gradually sunset this whole setup. And start feeding the copper ore in from the other side here. You can just shut down. Yours not needed anymore. Yeah, so you're stuck waiting till there's room. Yes, that's full, and that's just gonna take a while because that hasn't been running very hard. Okay, that's fine. So run over here and drop off the coal into this system, and it looks like you're finally shut down. Also, let's put you there. So you can continue to buffer. Alright, I got this whole thing. We routed the coal from down there. Okay, so I've got all this coal over here. Now what I can do is, instead of routing it the way I've got it here, I can draw the coal from there, just go straight on up. It'd be another one of those stopgap solutions. But this should then, play a bit nicer. Okay. So now I should be able to get that through there. Alright, so we got the coal being delivered to keep the steel production online. That's still not going as fast. We officially have that where that's now backing up, so at least this is going as fast as we can have it. Now, what I could probably do is I could probably have the crane move these crates from one... Oh, you know what? I bet you we can use a pusher. If we unlock the bumper, I bet you could have a bumper push these crates over and have another one to feed this line. And it would improve the throughput. Because this one, we're kind of hitting the limit on what that can do. And I can't use a inserter kind of thing to get that going, so I can only feed it on the one line. Alright. You like the tasks? It's a nice addition. Yeah, no, I really prefer. I shouldn't say prefer. I really like that in this game we have these tasks here, as opposed to Factorio. A lot of times it's kind of more open-ended research stuff, which is fine. But the open-ended research stuff, sometimes you kind of just get lost in the weeds. It also gives me something other than just Grow Factory. Like, Grow Factory is good. It's important and whatnot. But also gives me other things to grab my attention. Alright. Okay. Yeah, because one of the things that's going to need to happen is over here I got this copper production we set up. And how are you doing? 45. We are almost at the point of having all the lens for the telescope. I just now noticed that the dog was chasing away the birds. Okay. Let's run over here. That's all still functional and all that. Let's grab the steel. Let's try and focus on starting to get the bumpers going. I'm gonna regret this in a big way, aren't I? Yeah, it's gonna back some things up. All right, let's try and get the bumpers going, because like I said, I think I can use the bumpers to take those crates of ingots, deliver them, and just bump them onto another conveyor belt. And being able to bump them over to the other conveyor belt, that should allow me to like ship those crates over and then have them go in different routes. 47, so I got 6 more minutes till those are done. Unfortunately, it's not in-game minutes. Alright. 20 cable cranes is not that big a deal. 90 small motors is not that big a deal. Yeah, so those will be no big deal. Steel's still our pain point. It has been this entire time. But that's fine. Alright, so let's shove all of it there we can. So about half of everything except the winches, I got all the winches. We can go here to our tasks. So I need 90 small motors and 20 cable cranes. Deal with that in a second. I wanted to see if this is all still going good. Okay, got one more to pop out. Now once that's out, we can turn those off, or run those up to the telescope and get that online. Also, the idea of taking a telescope and using 50 lenses to meet the need of a damaged telescope sounds terrible. Because one reality you run into with telescopes is for every lens you put, I mean, not only telescopes, true binoculars, any type of adjusting visual device, every single additional lens you add degrades the quality of the image. So if you're going through 50 of them, I don't care how good your lenses are, by the other side, you're looking at just like someone just smeared Vaseline over the lens or something like that. Alright, so telescope is repaired, so we gotta talk to Elise. We'll try and grab the cable cranes and the small motors, since I don't know who's where. Try and get all 3 of those turned in. They obviously be autofocus. Well, it's not even the focus that's the problem. You know, even no matter how good of a lens you make, there's always minor imperfections. So, it'll just keep getting worse and worse. And then a lot of the stuff also just distorts the light as part of its whole thing. You just kind of keep cascading the problem. Alright. So there's the small motors. Can we get the cable cranes, though? Okay, don't have what I need for the cable cranes. Alright. Oh, wait, that was Pete. Hang on, Pete. You're a real go-getter there, Morgan. Thanks for helping old Pete. Complete 50 jobs from the job board. Cool. Good news, Elise. All the components... Hang on. Just slowly drifted away. Good news, Elise. All the components are in place. I think the telescope is ready to go. Morgan, I can't believe it. But this calls for a celebration, don't you think? I'll make the arrangements. I can't believe it. I finally got to see the inside of this place. This place is incredible. What do you spend your coins on? Upgrading the house mostly. And stuff around that. Wait, you wanted to take a look? Why didn't you just ask? I had a key on me the whole time. You what? This is wonderful. This is a wonderful thing you've done here, Morgan. I can't wait to get back to our research. I also haven't seen Elise this happy in a long time now. I'm just glad I could help. Though, it's too bad she has to move out of your living room now, am I right? Wait, why are you saying it like that? Well done, my dear. It's wonderful that Elise and William will be able to get back to their work. Morgan, I can't thank you enough. With the telescope repaired, I'll be able to start my research again. You should stop by my desk right away so that we can get started. But first, I think this calls for a photo to commemorate the occasion. And not pay. Not compensation, just to be clear. We are not compensating you for your efforts. Oh, wait, Morgan? What is it? I think a slime may have followed you in here. Wait, what? I hate slimes. Ow, it actually did hurt me. Hey, hang on, wait a second. I used to do all my research from behind a desk in the library, but it just didn't quite give me the satisfaction I was looking for. I finally decided one day to come here so that I could do my research at the observatory. Okay, so you operate from noon to 10 p.m. Elise, it's 5 minutes. Come on. Come on. There you go. Hi, Morgan. What can I help you with today? Okay. So... we would need to deliver plastic scraps and copper up here. I can do this. Excellent. Once you've delivered all the requirements, William and I will get started on the blueprints for you. Oh, you have no idea what you've signed up for release. Oh, you have no idea. Let's go ahead and, what we're gonna need here is I will need an unloader. I'm gonna need steel. Correction, I'm gonna need steel. Alright. All that plastic that's been piling up and causing me pain, we're about to ship that across the entire city. You know what? That's actually probably... You know what? 1 second. We're not going to do it that way. Because I'm thinking I'm going to deliver that, and then immediately have to undo it, and it'll already be up here. I wonder where do we import all the CRTs from? Don't know. Oh, right. I could just feed into the box. Yeah, because what I'm thinking is I could sit there and run the conveyor belts all the way across the entire city to get that all wired up. But then it ends up being a bit of a nuisance. Where it was only 500, which is a lot. But I think it stacks 50 tall. So it's only 10 stacks. Which is enough that I could fit it in one inventory and run it over. Alright, so we will need the ingots as well. Alright. So first, let's clear out some inventory space. So first we're going to take the dog's ball, and we're going to sell that. The rest is just cluttering my inventory. Okay, so let's go look at our objectives. So unlock tier 5. So it's 750 plastic and 500 copper. Alright, let's see how close we can get to getting our cable cranes done. And for a minute here, I'm going to drop off some of these conveyor belts. All right. I'll definitely need to ramp up that. All right, so the things I need is I need the plastic, which I've got heaping up everywhere. Where is... Way down there. It's fine. All right. So let's just go over here and grab a big old pile of these ingots. Also, you don't need to be sitting here anymore, so give me all this back. I need how much? 500. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Did I have more than the 500? Yep. Alright, so I got the 500 copper bars. I'm going to run down here, grab our little mech friend. And just grab whatever plastic I can, because that's going to be more than I can carry in one round of the plastic. So literally I should be able to get this all done today, assuming she's still open in time. Okay. But I put in all the work to repairing the town's infrastructure and not get paid. Alrighty then. So we'll start with you and say, just give it all to me. Okay. So we can run this on up here. And that gets that unstuck. And then we can check by the big pile by the university, because I still got those being processed as well, but they're all jammed up because too much plastic. But by being able to turn them into plastic ingots, my assumption is they will become something usable at that stage. And if we can make them into something usable, at least what I could do is any and all surplus of those I can just convert into whatever the usable thing is. Okay, so it's only 300 short on the plastic, which is 6 stacks. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to get all the way back to town, grab the stacks, and get back up here by 6 p.m., which is, I think, what it said our closing time was. but we'll see. Because the university right here should have the plastic for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks. We gotta drop it off and get inside and talk to her before 6. I'm not super worried if we end up having to go like another day. That's not really that big a deal. Well, Morgan, I'm happy to let you know that the first set of blueprints are ready. We've devised a way to process plastic scraps from your shipments to turn them into plastic bars so they can be reused. You'll need a new type of machine though, one that can take in water as one of its requirements. Come see me to start researching the blueprints for it. Oh no. Okay, so I need flow meters and iron plates. And we're gonna get chemical plants and everything. Excellent. Once you delivered all the requirements, William and I will get started on the blueprints for you. So, I've already got my water tower. Oh, 10 p.m. wasn't it? Oh, if it's 10 p.m. then that's easy. So we've already got water tower. But that's gonna be a whole thing. Alright, so. Yeah, so the plastic bar needs to be done in a chemical plant. And it costs coal and plastic scraps. And then the oxygen also is made at a chemical plant. And then the flow meter is circuit boards and gears. That officially means I need to be properly handling circuit boards. Alright. Hold, please. A whole lot of stuff just got a lot worse. Because the problem with that is my water tower is right where I'm setting up all that copper production. Alright. There, I made a much larger plastic buffer until we're through that. Okay, so got the circuit boards backed up here. Yep, and they're going into town. And that means I don't have enough copper wire being produced. So, I'm going to need to get more of that done. And I love to see that being all backed up, but we need to get the bumper sorted. Which is just another thing onto the pile that depends on steel, and I need my steel so I can increase my steel throughput. Alright, so I have the circuit boards being made over here. What do I need to make my flow meters? That's gears. So it's gears and circuit boards. So I can build the assembler here. And so we can go over here. Alright, let's get this sorted. So you'll want to be here. Do I have another underground? Yes, I do. Alright, so now if we go over here and reconfigure you over to the flow meter, that'll get our flow meters going. Alright, so we're making the flow meters, so that's at least one thing going. I'm seeing my iron node over there starting to blink. That's deeply upsetting. I'm going to choose to ignore it for a minute. Okay. Because, yeah, like I said, I think what we're going to have to do here is I'm going to need a bumper. So I can kind of bumper one of these over to this track, unload here, and kind of the same idea of what we're doing here. I'll have this one, you know, bumper over here, unload directly into there. Try and get as many of these up as we can. So first, not be dividing. See how far we can take that whole thing. It's going to be a little bit of work. So how fast are you making these? 10 per minute. I need how many of you? It looks like I don't have that set up yet, so objectives. Track on screen. I need flow meters and iron plates. I need 100 flow meters. And then 400 iron plates. And I just had something run out. Probably that iron we were looking at. Okay, so here's where things get sweaty. So, I now have the problem of trying to get all that ore where it's needed. So I'm going to reroute some of this stuff. I'm going to try and be quick about it because it's getting ready to be nighttime. Okay. And just like that, all that's hooked up in the last two nodes of ore over there. And once those two nodes are tapped, basically it'd be time for me to rip down most of that iron production. Oh, I have an iron node over there. We could wire that in as well as a buffer. But once we tap that out, all the ore is on the wrong side. All my iron comes from the west. So it all comes to the west. So having it all in that center spot is going to be nothing but trouble. So it'll be time to like rotate everything down there. So I can pull it in from the west. Oh, hey Dottie, I didn't expect to see you here. Hi, sweetheart. Sorry to bother you. I know you're busy. No, it's fine. What's wrong? It's just, Tina and I had another big fight yesterday. She came back so late and I got so mad at her. It's all my fault. What happened? Where's Tia? That's the thing. I don't know. She left at the crack of dawn this morning. I thought I'd go check on her, but I looked all over town and I can't find her anywhere. I shouldn't have gotten so mad at her. I just want to make sure she's okay. Can you help me look for her? Of course, I'll do everything I can. Alright, Leo, let's go find Tia. I should probably do that. And as the thing I should probably do, you know, Tia could be in some kind of danger, so we should probably make that the highest priority. Probably should really prioritize the non-specific aged child's safety, and definitely put that ahead of literally anything else. Because, you know, again, could be in danger. So certainly should work on that first, before anything else at all. Really should be focused on that one. Definitely where the priority should be. Definitely. Not working on anything else. You're not supposed to be actually full. We can fix this. There we go. Alright, definitely gotta check on that. She's probably gonna be inside the silo or something like that. I can see the silo, I could see inside the mines. Those are places that I'm guessing this is gonna be going down. And the copper has completely exhausted. There's no more copper. Today is gonna be a lot of pain. Today is gonna be a lot of pain. Okay. Alright, so let's go check. So the thing is, we have hacks, and those hacks are our dog. Our dog Leo can find anyone in town. I just have to, you know... For a moment I thought it was Tia right there. It's like, oh no, that's because we've trapped you. Alright. So what we could do here is we can go, okay, Tia, ask Leo to go find Tia. So clearly not the silo. Alright, we're looking mindward. One of my drills just ran out of stuff. Oh my god, Tia, what are you doing down here? Let's get you out of here. Oh my goodness, Tia, thank God you're alright. Where were you? She was in the mine. Pretty far in there, too. There are quite a few slimes around. The mines? Why on earth would you be in there? You could have gotten hurt. I just wanted to build things like Morgan. I thought I could go find some ore and try it out. I wanted to try something else. I thought maybe if I got good enough, I wouldn't end up having to work at the shop. I'm sorry. And then immediately walks out again. What a fool I've been. I was so wrapped up in myself and what I thought Tia should do that I haven't listened to what she actually wanted. If I was more supportive, she wouldn't have felt the need to go off on her own like that. It is really my fault. Yes. Maybe there's a better way we can help support what she likes. I'm all ears, sweetheart. Well, she seems really interested in the factory. I could try getting her started on building her own components. Give her an outlet to try engineering. I could even get Tia her own copy of one of my blueprints and show her how to make it. You would do that for us? Of course. I'll talk to Rebecca to see if she can get me a second copy of a blueprint. Then we can get started. Oh goody. So there is a workplace accident stat. I think we're discovering where that starts. Tia would absolutely love that. How would you know? You've not been listening. We just covered this. Oh, bless your heart, Morgan. Thank you. Teaching Tia. Let me guess. It's not that you get employees. But it does seem like we're going to get, you know, people who are going to work on stuff. I'm curious how they would work to help you. Like with how the game works. We're still working, we're still working on the current research, but we can change. Oh, no, don't worry about that. I want to go over here. I gotta talk to you. Hey, Rebecca, I've got a big favor to ask. I'm gonna help teach Tia how to build components. You know the factory is supposed to build components for you, right? Haha, very funny. It's to help Dottie out. She's been having a hard time connecting with Tia. I was thinking something like heavy-duty motors. Would you happen to have a backup copy of the blueprint so that Tia would be able to keep it? That blueprint from your aunt, right? We might have a copy of it in the university somewhere. Let's see. Oh, I keep getting the voices all. It's like, I'll have a check at the archives. Leave it to me. I'll drop it off in the mailbox once I find it. Thanks, Rebecca. I appreciate it. Alright, so we have fulfilled our social obligations. Alright, so good news here is I've got all this done, so I no longer need this over here. Alright, that's going to take some work before I'm ready to deal with that. But the good news is now I've got all that junk picked up. Now, I'm not going to be delivering the cable things to Dottie, because her deadline is farther out. If I can get them to Rebecca, I'm going to get way more money. So we're going by the strategy of we promised someone some goods, but someone offered us a little bit more cash. So we're going to completely ignore our existing obligations in favor of the ones that better favor us. Learn to pay more. All right. Grab a stack of you. Hey, capitalism. I mean, that's just economics. Let's be honest, I'm probably getting underpaid by both these people. So if one of them is willing to underpay me slightly less, I'm down to take advantage. Oh, these do block your path. Alright, so we're gonna have to resolve something there. That's gonna be a very, very rapid problem. Okay. So, I officially have a reason to not just run conveyor belts everywhere to deal with this. Because with that, I'm going to literally be unable to cross anywhere we zigzag like this. So it's going to ultimately need to happen is I'm going to need to add cranes to go across these roadways. Right now, we're just going to go and duck in between, but if those ever back up, we're screwed. Can't you dig under as well? Not with the boxes. The boxes cannot go under. They cannot get moved by a bunch of things. They're very limited in what you can move. You also can't pick them up. So that's 100 of the flow meters, and I need 400 plates. So 100, 200, 300, 400. Okay, so that's for the chemical processing. It's almost like the dev planned for this to happen. Yep, that's not super surprising. Because, I mean, you do utterly screw up the town by just snaking conveyor belts over every inch of it. The one downside of the cinematics doing that... Oh, okay. Hang on, that's actually cool. So it kicked the robot out. I was about to say that my robot was all the way in there, but it looks like it did kick the robot out to the iron mine side. I'm in the wrong place to retrieve it, but that's okay. Because with this, I should be able to run up here, unlock chemical processing, and then we get to play with fluid dynamics. Yay. Oh, I have to drop it out here, don't I? The blueprints of the chemical plant are now ready. With this, you can now turn plastic scraps into bars. You think you can think of this like an assembler. However, it needs to be supplied with water as well. I've included blueprints for water pumps and pipes to go along with it. The pumps must be placed next to a body of water. After you connect the pipes from the pumps to the chemical plant, you should be good to go. Good luck, Morgan. Alright. So we can get underground pipe or higher tech. Alright. Excellent. Once you've delivered all the requirements, William and I will get started on the blueprints for you. Okay. So that'll be a whole thing. And for researching the bumper, I need more heavy-duty motors and steel, which is going to be a pain. Steel's the one that's causing us all the problems. Okay, you sleep well.
I sleep well. Remember how much I love you.
More than 2.
More than 2.
Love. Alright, so now we have to make a chemical plant, which requires flow meters and servos. I'm not making servos yet. What does a servo take to make? What pain shall I suffer now? Servo is circuit boards and small motors. That's actually not too bad immediately. It'll be bad long term, but the short term I could band-aid this thing up. I say, noticing I do not have any space for this. Oh right, our copper's all shut down. That's a big problem. Okay. New plan. Alright, so what we're gonna do now... is we got that feeding around. So this is where our heat sinks and our copper wire were being made. As you can see, we're fresh out. And are now producing our copper on the other side. So I gotta get that sorted. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to go ahead and over here get the copper wire and copper heat sinks being produced. And I've already got all this set up. So what I could do as a temporary, just go boom, copper wire, heat sinks. Grab you out of the way. In fact, I could quickly go over here to the copper wire. That's fine, whatever. I'm gonna need some power. And I see my power somewhere has just gone offline. We're gonna need item buffers. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need to do is first, where's our... That could just stay broken. Alright, so I need to get the copper stuff over here. Now, for right now, okay. How do I want to do this? Because they're bunched up here pretty tightly. Because I need to get the copper wire and the heat sinks to the respective machines. Of which I've got 3. So I need copper wire over there and down here. And I need the heat sinks over here. So we're going to need to adjust where our iron is moving around. Let's see. I've got this all bunched up, and it's going to be really hard to reroute it. I can't cut through the building. Alright. I'm not going to get that fixed before nightfall. Is our steel production still online? Right now, that's what I care about. Is steel production still online? Because you need to keep doing your thing. As long as we get that, we can at least keep this going for a little longer. Okay, so I've got the 40 for Rebecca. I need to give those to her today. Where are you, Rebecca? Probably at the bakery. So let's drop these off. That's not who's going to be over there. Actually, it might be. Let's get the stuff to Rebecca. She'll pay us a bunch of money. We might be able to expand our property and go around the back of the building. Alright. Thanks for helping me out, Mo. It's hard to get time outside of the university these days. 5,000? Cool. What that does mean is tomorrow when we wake up, we can rush down there and get the next thing done. You need heavy-duty motors, you need furnaces. I'm going to skip on all those for right now. We're going to spend the money to get the upgrade. And for the moment, I just need to keep all this moving. Okay. So that drill went offline. There we go. Got you resolved. All right. So at least resolves that for 2 seconds. Alright, so I still need all of the steel cables that has ever existed, and the winches. We need steel beams and heavy-duty motors, and we need everything. We just need literally everything that exists is what we need. Alright, so good news here is I believe we're going to get that other stuff going. Right, okay, so the thing we're doing is we're waking up first thing in the morning tomorrow. We are running to the mayor as fast as we can. He's probably not going to be there on Sundays, and he'll be upset about it. But we can hopefully expand our property, and I'm hoping that'll free up space behind the silo enough that I can fish the copper behind the building, and get that sorted out there. Because right now, trying to go in front of the building, with all that iron production in the front, there's just not really a good way to snake it through. Hey Mo, I couldn't find a backup copy of the blueprint you asked for, but no worry, I got Nor to draft up a new one. I told her it was for one of her assignments. I can feel you judging me through this letter, so just know she got an A on it. No, I did not bribe her with grades. Okay, that's enough for now. See you later, Mo. Alright, so let's get the robot. Oh, we're gonna have our first workplace accidents, and I can see it coming, and I'm doing it anyway. Because I'm expecting this to lead to people working for the factory. Because there's workplace accidents as a stat, and there's gotta be someone to get hurt. Hi, Morgan. Looking to make your upgrade around the aunt's property? More land. Congratulations, the land on the north side of the silo is now yours. You can build anything you like on it. I'll get the barricade removed right away. Alright, we got an achievement for expanding our property, so that's done. So let's go to Dottie. Hey, Treacle. Can we get a shout out for Treacle, by the way? I got this spare blueprint. Everything else we need is available back at Auntie's house. All we need now is Tia. Wonderful. Maybe we can make it a bit of a surprise. Let's wait till the next time she comes home. It's like, Tia's like, why are we having an intervention? I haven't started drugs. I'm not skipping school. Why are we having an intervention? Clearly neither of my parents are dead because they're standing right here. Alright, let me get that shout out. Because this to me feels like an intervention with everyone standing around as you walk in the door. Again, check out Treacle, fantastic content creator. 100% recommend. Plays a lot of games like RimWorld and all that, so definitely someone worth checking out. And thank you again for tuning in and all that. But gosh, I'm mixing up my things. Definitely go check them out. Good times over there. It's always good to have you here. Why are Morgan and Carter here? What's going on? I'm sorry, Tia. Sorry for what? For everything. I've been trying to force you to do the same things as me. For not listening to you when you told me you wanted to try what you wanted to try out. If you don't want to work at the store, it's okay. We'll just go bankrupt and go hungry, but you'll be happy, so it's alright. It is? It is. In fact, Morgan here was kind enough to offer to teach you how to build machines. Wait, really? Really, I've got a blueprint and parts for you and everything. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Just hold on. I have some of my own tools. I'll be right back. Make sure when you're putting in a bearing that you check the taper first. Each side tapers different direction to keep the axle centered. Like this? Exactly. Now you got it. Look at her. She's so happy. Looks like Tia might have found her passion. It sure does. Next generation of engineers. I can't thank you enough, Morgan. It's so nice seeing Tia so happy again. I'll do what I can to help her explore her passion more. Who knows? Maybe you'll even catch the engineering bug one day. By the way, I have something for you. Just a little thank you. I find the birds tend to sit a little closer when I'm wearing one of these. A sunny hat? Birds no longer fly away from you. Sure. The hat almost looks really too big for our character. Like, it's a sun hat, but it is a big old sun hat. Alright, let's see if we can't get a look at our property. Because it said he was going to do it right away. Aw, yeah, we got more space. We got space for days. Alright, so the questions are, is there ore back here? Oh, we got a lot of space. Okay, so there's just stone and wrecked machines back here. There is a water source back here as well. Alright. So, that's good news and bad news. The good news is that does mean we got the expansion that'll let me bring the copper round back. The bad news is it's full of a bunch of junk that I'm going to need to move. So we're going to be dealing with it like I just started a farm in Stardew Valley where I got to move all the crap out of the way so I can actually do anything. So I'm going to run down here real quick, grab a robot, and I'm going to start by just picking up all the random junk. Now, downside is a robot can't do stone. We have to deal with that as well. But I'm looking forward to this because now, instead of trying to make these go around and over there, I can just send them around back. Can a toaster break old machines? Yeah, no, it can do the machines. What it can't do is the stones. You get a chance to the apprentice now to help you. Tia yearns for it, right? We literally did find Tia in the mines. Clearly she yearned for it when things got tough. She went as deep in the mines as she could. Quite literally, she thought she could go and find ore and start doing her own crafting. All right. It's gonna take some tinkering to figure out how we want to tackle this. But I think the first priority is going to be getting that steel production. Well, first priority is probably going to be getting the copper stuff producing at all. Then the next priority is probably going to be getting that steel production to not be horrifically slow. Okay. We're almost done clearing all that junk. So basically I'm going to lose a day of working on the factory itself to just clearing junk up. Alright, how's our inventory looking? Bad. That's how it's looking. Bad. Alright, so I still have to... let's see here. I need 20 of these for Dottie. Let's get those dropped off for Dottie real fast. Huh? Oh, is Dottie on my property right now? Oh yeah, because she came up here and she probably immediately got trapped. Excellent. You might as well work here now, Dottie. Done already. Thank you, sweetheart. You're a big help. Alright, so let's check our objectives. Okay, so all the rest is all that. Alright. So got ourselves some spare money. Okay. So I need to clear up some inventory space. So I think what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go over to where I've got this stone that I've been collecting. Oh, there's really no room to work there. Cool. Just using this as a big glorified storage box. Wait, did I need stone for something? I feel like I needed stone for something. I do need stone for something. Alright, well let's just go here and grab all the stone we can. And we're taking the stone to the research place up here. So we drop off that stone. That'll clear up a bunch of inventory space. They're not going to destroy blocking furniture like in Stardew. Nope, they just get stuck in purgatory. That they may never leave. Basically, they'll respawn back at home the next day, and then they'll get stuck again. As it was meant to be. Alright, so clearing out inventory, because I gotta go run over here and break a whole lot of rocks. That's gonna be kind of the big thing, is figuring out what to do with all these rocks. So we need more steel beams and heavy-duty motors for the bumper. The bumper was the thing that I was going to use to try and fix the throughput on our steel beams by making it so I can get the ingots in at a faster rate. Before I forget, let's take what rock stone I do have and drop it in there. And like I said, my big priority right now is I'm going to try and clean up all this crap in the back. Because I figured it's one of those ones that I clean it once and it's done. All right. Because then what I think we can do is I think I'm going to try and move our steel production, not like right this second, I want to keep it going, but once we're at the point of ready to expand it, I think I'm going to go and run the iron the whole way up this left side. And then put the steel production over in one spot. Have like one place I can add a couple of things for plates and cable and all that. And try and get that figured out. I don't think this is going to be a game that we can quite do like Factorio, where you can get your entire bus that takes up a whole bunch of space to figure out. Because you are dealing with finite space, I imagine it is one of those things that you are going to have a certain amount of spaghetti that you're just going to have to work around things. Okay. And almost done cleaning up. The real interesting one's gonna be getting the plastic over here. The water is all on this northeast end. Okay, so we got all that sorted. Alright, so back to figuring the things out we need to figure out. So we've got all these plates coming in, and unfortunately... Oh, I don't need a crane there. And unfortunately, right now, I need the bumpers to get that. So let's try and get the steel bumpers going. So that's... I need 150 more heavy motors. I have 8... Well, actually... Ooh, I almost do have 150 more of the motors. And I need about 260 steel beams. Which I have not that many. Alright, so we're going to let those just churn away what they're doing down there. I do have these being produced over here, which is fine. And we're not going to get any more of those till we get the heat sinks. So we do have to get the heat sinks over. Okay. So let's consider how we are working things around here. Right now, what I could probably do is let's go over here. start just running the copper wire. And the heat sinks. Because we're going to need those over here. Okay, so for the copper wire, I need it down... I could probably take it the whole way down the outside, like all the way down here. That'll probably be okay for now. We'll obviously want to make it better later. Oh, I'm out of conveyor belts. That's fine. We knew that day was going to come. Alright, so let's go over to the conveyor belt box and grab a bunch more. So pretty much we're just trying to wire it into what I already have for right now, with the intent of gradually moving stuff around. But my goal is to keep things producing, step 1. Step 2, make it not awful. No, wait. Okay. Crisis averted. Would have contaminated the belts. Alright, so what's going to need to happen here is you're going to have to switch which sides things are happening. What would be my best way of doing this? You do this the lazy way. There. It's already wired up and fixed. That'll work just fine. Copper wire is sorted. The next one is I got to get the heat sinks over here. And that machine's down there. I probably should move it up this way. But I don't want to deal with that right now. So I can't turn it here because those can't go underground. Honestly, I could see moving very large areas of stuff. Actually, ooh, you know what? I bet you I might be able to move it. This'll work. Okay. In our underground. Requires more iron plates. Alright. I would really like to get this done. No, actually, we'll probably do one more in game day. Yeah, we'll do one more in game day. I thought it was later than it was. Oh, no, wait. We probably won't do one more in game day. What I'm going to try and do is shove that down there, bring you up, and at least try and get this wired up as fast as we can. I don't have the time. Come on. We're almost there. Cool, that'll do it. Let's get to sleep. That's all wired up. Okay, so that should be the heavy motors being produced again and all the circuitry and everything. And I don't think we're going to make it. I haven't run out of time yet, but my assumption is midnight you pass out. You passed out from exhaustion. So, okay, we get to see what the consequence of passing out is. I can't believe I slept until 10. Alright, so there's the consequence of doing it. The only thing it does is you lose the first, like, 3-4 in-game hours of the day. So you lose, like, a good chunk of your day by dragging it out. Which I think is a reasonable punishment. That's not like, oh, you lose a bunch of money or you lose whatever. Now, with that said, I'm going to be wrapping up for the evening and all that, because it's about 4 minutes, so I'm supposed to wrap up anyways, and I am a bit on the tired side, and I got stuff to prepare for TwitchCon. I do think we'll probably pick this up tomorrow, is I think what my plan is. We're going to keep playing this, because literally for TwitchCon, I head out on the 15th, so I've got, let's see, I've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and that's it. So we got 3 more streams until it's, you know, Rual abandonment. But I'll be gone for about 10 days and I'll be back. But with that said, if you have enjoyed tonight's stream and you're not already following, don't forget to drop a follow, that we can find your way back here on the channel, because that's how this whole streaming thing works. But with all that said, if you are watching over on YouTube, the stream will be ending abruptly for you because I don't have a host ready over there. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But everyone over here on Twitch, I'm going to go ahead and put up my ending stream screen and see who we can find to drop a raid on tonight.